If I were you, I wouldn't be there. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. These are what you call conditional type 2. What do you mean by conditional type 2? How can we use it? I'm going to explain in detail. Stay with me. I'm Mr. Muhammad. I'm an English teacher. Thank you so much in advance for being with me. So, when we talk about conditional sentences in general, these are what we call the ones that we use in order to do based on one precondition. For example, when I say, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. That means doing that or not relies or depends on one precondition. That is being you. If I were you. That means from the very beginning that I express my wish or what I want, right? That's if I were you, meaning that it's opposite to the reality on the ground. I am not you, meaning if I were you, I'm not you. But what is intended, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. So, guess what? Since I am not you, so I do that. That's the point. If I worked hard, I would get it. Meaning, I do not work hard. That's why I don't get it. That's the point of conditional type 2. When you talk about conditional type 2, that's your focus has to be on the pattern. That means conditional sentence, which is if clause and main clause. When you talk about if clause, that means I'm talking about the dependent sentence. If plus verb 2, and then in the main clause, modal plus verb 1. Like, if I studied well, I would pass the exam. So the point here is, when we explain this sentence, I don't study well. That's why I do not pass the exam. Make sure that when we talk about conditional types 2, our focus is to indicate present and real, not past or future. The intention is to talk about present and real. If I studied well, I would pass the exam. I don't pass the exam because I don't study well. That's the point. So what's the point of talking about this? Is to indicate wish.